Here's a tip. Let's say you bet big on a 4-game moneyline parlay. Your first 3 bets have hit, but you're a little nervous about the last game. Consider placing a separate bet against the team you have winning in your parlay. You're technically a winner either way. Now, go get lucky. See you in Lost Pages. Let's get lucky.
You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on.
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day on this marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel, Day, Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours, right up until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, watching, analyzing, betting on the world of sports. Ah, yes. NBA, NHL, baseball, SGPs, Black Clouds, 5 on the line trends that we have each and every night. We got KC using the torpedo bats, apparently, and things are grand for Met fans. We'll get to it all over the next 2. My partner in crime for the next 120 minutes, Mr. Dave Sharapan, rocking the, I don't know, is it Oakland A's, Sacramento A's, Las Vegas A's, or just A's tonight? Pick one.
Apparently, by Major League Baseball rules, first of all, it's great to see you. We got the boys in the back making sure we're good. It's just the Athletics. They can't even use the city name. They're playing in Sacramento. First time in 57 years. They're not playing in Oakland. But I got all the A's stuff. And it's Ricky Henderson night. Everybody's wearing 24. His 3 daughters are throwing out a simultaneous first pitch. And Ricky was one of one. His daughters' names are, let me see, I have it right here. His 3 daughters, Angela, Alexis, and Adriana, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. All of that being said, this has to fit a Wetzel system. A's plus money at home, albeit in, let's see, it's called Sutter Health Park in Sacramento. The dimensions are almost the same as they were in Oakland. But man, the Cubs have 3 blown leads this season. That's tied for the most in baseball. It's only the first weekend, but that's how you come up with bets in the first week of baseball if you don't have super trends or super friends or super things like you got that we're going to show you right now.
All right. How about that? We got a bunch of games. We do have some baseball. And by the way, we do have a system. It's kind of the anti-celebration system. Not that they're celebrating, they're kind of honoring him, but they chose the Chicago Cubs. And that's what's going to incite or spur on Chicago. So believe it or not, there actually is a system for that game tonight. But we have baseball. We got NHL. We got NBA, full slate of games. So each and every night, we're going to pick 5 of the best trends. We're not really saying you should absolutely bet these, but we all know people love trends. I love trends. So these are the best 5. We'll do it every single night. And whether you throw them away, whether you use them, Consider them, whatever the case may be, but these are the 5 best trends for all sports each and every night. So we will start with a little 5 on the line. How about that? I must say, these are hard not to bet. I really, as much as I said, we're not necessarily advocating these like we do others. These are really tough if you don't want to play these. Number 5 on our list, Dave. How about OKC tonight, hosting the Chicago Bulls, the resurging Chicago Bulls? Bet the Bulls, right? How about OKC is 9-0 straight up and against the spread their last 9 games? How about the fact they've also, by the way, will throw in their 6-0 their last 6 games against the Bulls? And you know what we say, winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. 5 on the line, OKC is the pick, right? Minus 15.5 against Chicago.
I think so. And listen, again, you hear all these things. Everybody has systems, everybody has bets, and everybody's watching the show. Again, if you like these, please tweet at us. Sports BK and Sig, opposite picks, SportsGrid. Put it all together. Let us know what you think. These went 5-0 last time we got together. The last time we did the show was last Wednesday. Things were smooth as could be, and all of the 5 on the line were good, but you got more. We got more.
By the way, 25 and 15 since we've been doing this a little part-time. All right, how about number 4? Want to put a little 2-team parlay in? OKC. How about the Dallas Mavericks? Very quietly, right? Without Luka, obviously. Without Kyrie Irving. AD has been back for a game or 2. But how about the Dallas Mavericks to take it on the Brooklyn Nets tonight? Mavericks 10-1 over their last 11 games. How about that? The pick? Of course, over 217.5. Brooklyn and the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks at home tonight.
Yeah, that's strong, and this is how you could get involved in a game that I think the get-in price tonight in Dallas for this game might be $5. 5 on the line. They find a way to bet it. There you go.
That's probably it, right? When the point spread is higher than how much it costs to go in. Yeah, you got something wrong in your sports city. So, all right, how about number 3? How about a 3-team NBA parlay? We got Memphis hosting the Boston Celtics. Memphis, for some goofy reason, Dave and I will talk about it later, fired their head coach this weekend, 2 weeks before the playoffs start. So they're hosting the Celtics. We've given you this number before, and we're going to continue to give it because they continue to fail to cover the spread. Memphis, 3-14-1 against the spread their last 18 games. They're hosting the champs tonight against the Boston Celtics. So, you know what we have to do. Number 3, let's go Celtics. Minus 5, 5.5, depending on where you do your shopping at Memphis, right? I mean, Boston's playing great, by the way, as well. But, boy, I tell you what, Memphis can't cover anything, Dave. It's amazing.
It's one of those ones that, being a former book guy and still a book guy by trade, by nature, I'd let you bet this one. It's the Boston's last game of this road trip. They're undefeated on the road trip, and you get the dead cat bounce from the fired coach. So I will present the other side of that one, but you still have more. There's going to be 5 of these every night. We're down to number 2, I believe.
All right. Number 2, we'll switch over to the ice. A pretty good one. Colorado entertaining the Calgary Flames. Colorado has beaten Calgary 7 straight times, including twice this year. They've outscored them this year 8-4 in the 2 games. Colorado, by the way, has happened to be playing great as well. They did lose their last game. They haven't lost 2 in a row in eon, so a nice little bounce back to a tough game against St. Louis over the weekend. But Colorado beat Calgary 7 straight, so you know where we're going. I got to lay a little juice. Colorado minus the 260 versus Calgary. I won't offer too many of these, but again, these are just the trend. The trends don't care what the point spread or the line is. These are just the trends, and you do with the one. You want to lay goal and a half. You want to, put them in regulation. Bottom line is you take Colorado minus the 260. So that's 4 down.
Other option in this one might be the in regulation play. Like you don't have to, you probably lay half around 150, 155, 160, somewhere in that neighborhood. But there were 4 games tonight in hockey, and it sure looked like 4 favorites were going to win. That's probably one of the best ones, Colorado.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, right? So that leaves us with one. The best trend play of the night. Where are we going to go? How about NHL? Why not? Again, I like these trends that are off the beaten radar. People may have taken notice, obviously, of OKC. They know about Memphis with the coach being fired. It's the trend that no one's paying attention to. This way, the lines don't really move. It's Nashville, the Predators, who have been god-awful all season long anyway. 10-1 under their last 11 games. Now they're taking on a rejuvenated, if you will, I suppose, Philadelphia Flyers team. They fired their head coach. They've won 2 games since then. They're playing better defense. At least they got a little giddy up into their system. Nashville under 5.5 is obviously the play to go against the Philadelphia Flyers, Dave.
Perfect timing for this one.
Yeah.
Jump in there with this game under 5.5. In game is a 3.5. We're 0-0 in the second period.
All right. There you go. All right. In game live, game day just underway.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back. In-game live, game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave just underway, hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza. So we got a little baseball, we got a little NHL, a little NBA. We got some college basketball, Dave, but I'm really, honestly, it's not good for people hosts to be saying these things, but I'm so basketballed out, like in a good way, with the Final Four, Elite Eight, obviously, and everything else, that these goofy CBI, CBC, whatever they're calling themselves, games in Las Vegas, I just have no interest. I don't know what the buzz is. Is there any buzz? You're in Las Vegas. Is anybody talking about these 4 games tonight? Or the whole tournament, for that
Um,
matter?
Let me think about this. In a word, no, not at
No.
all. The games are down at the MGM. They were noon and 2:30 for the first session today, local time. There were probably more people at the game you refereed over the weekend at the game. There's just no buzz. But I mean,
Wow.
they're betting opportunities. The first game flew
Right.
over. It was easy. The number was bad.
Another over.
Listen, you've talked about it many times. A lot of times in these situations, who's playing defense? There was nobody playing defense early. There's games later, depending on the status after the show. I might shoot down to watch that late game. I don't know. There's some good baseball games on. There's some good hockey games on. I may just avoid the Strip because I was down there all weekend, off and on. And no, in a word, there's minimal buzz. The Crown is more of a frown so far.
Yeah, that's not. I get the concept of starting them now. The Final Four is set. Elite Eight is all done. We got this open window of an entire week, no college basketball. So I mean, it makes sense
Yeah.
on paper, but in reality, it's just like, wow, no, we just want to get the Final Four. We want to get the season over with. We already got our fill of NIT, and although the championship games or semifinal games for the NIT tomorrow, I might have some interest in those. But one more start of another tournament, not for me. Now, tell me you're joking, because before we came on the air, you said something about the LA Dodgers that I'm sure you were joking, because I got a big play on the Dodgers, to go 162-0. Is that ticket in danger tonight? What happened?
So, and you're old enough to remember, like, guys have gone on the disabled list in baseball. It's now called the injured list, the IL. It used to be called the DL, for like bending over, tying their shoe wrong, slamming their hand in a car door, crazy things. I, in 54 years of life, have never heard of this one. But Freddie Freeman got hurt and is out tonight and is day to day from getting into the shower. Thank you, CBW, for tweeting it. Both you and I got us right before the show, tagged me, saw it on the tweet. He's out of the game tonight, and the line hasn't moved. Our Monday night producer, Preston, told us, in our ear, he checked the line. Nothing's happened. You don't move the line on information like
Right.
this, but there will be people that will bet the Braves because Freddie's not in the lineup, and there will be people that will bet the Dodgers because Freddie's not in the lineup. Does that affect your handicap at all?
I'm not happy about it, but am I not going to play an undefeated team versus a winless team? And with the Dodgers obviously being the undefeated team, no, I'm not going to not. If they lose, the smart better, the gambler, the wise guy, whatever phrase, right? He stayed away. He said, "Yep, you know what? That's he's a big cog in their lineup. No two ways about it. I stayed away. It's hard. The temptation to play the Dodgers all the time is there." But, me being me, give me the Dodgers. Knowing me, I'll double down. What's the difference? How many games did they win last year without Freddie Freeman in the lineup, right? I mean, a bunch of playoff games. Yeah. So, now I don't quite understand. Like, these are not bathtubs at home where, you got to lift your leg up because you're getting into an actual tub for take the shower, right? I mean, the last time I've been in a baseball locker room, this is a flat surface. This is just walking in. All you're doing is walking to your shower head. So did he slip and fall? I mean, are we talking like lawsuit here? Well, should we call what was that the lawsuit that company there, the brothers and brothers there, whatever it was, they went out of business a while ago. I mean,
It's not them. Yeah, no.
It's not them. Okay. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, are you running into the shower?
Shower shoes are very important in big league clubhouses. Very, very important. You remember the movie Bull Durham? You got to have good shower shoes. Maybe he slipped. Right. Who knows what? Maybe something else happened that, this is the cover for it. Who knows? It just goes out that, like, he literally got hurt entering. I mean, it says it that Freddie Freeman injured himself while entering the shower. That's what it says. I don't know. The big league clubhouses I was in, there's no step. It's just an open shower.
Right.
I mean, have you seen the new showers? They're great. You need a remodel at the house out on the island. Get one of those showers. It's like, flat. It just, you walk right in.
Right. The only thing, if they were covering up something nefarious, they wouldn't say this, right? They wouldn't make the poor guy look like a
I don't
fool.
know.
They would just say he was running to first base and he tweaked an ankle, he's a little sore, even going up and down the dugout steps. I mean, you wouldn't say he got hurt going into a shower.
I don't think so.
Who
Again,
knows?
I don't think so. We got to keep an eye on some other games, though. I wanted to ask
Yes.
you before we get to the next break with the hockey. So we mentioned the Predators and the Flyers, and that game under.
Right.
Flyers scored, by the way. It's 1-0. 8 minutes ago in the second.
Right.
The Wild and the Devils. Devils at home, up 1-0. No score, and they haven't dropped the puck yet in the Flames and Avalanche. It's coming up right now. And the Stars are at the Kraken. This looks like all four favorites win tonight. That's what I saw when I looked at the board. Did you see the same thing?
No, here's why. You got two rematches. Devils, Minnesota, and Dallas, Seattle. Devils on Saturday beat the Wild in Minnesota. So I kind of like Minnesota in the rematch. Dallas and Seattle, same thing. Dallas beat Seattle, though, in Seattle. So they're going back-to-back with 2 games in Seattle for some reason. Tough to beat a decent team. Seattle's decent, not great. Tough to beat them back-to-back. So I'm thinking one of those two favorites, that one won't win again. We'll talk more about it when we get back to Game Live Game Day. SGP, same game parlay coming up next.
Here's a tip. Let's say you bet big on a 4-game moneyline parlay. Your first 3 bets have hit, but you're a little nervous about the last game. Consider placing a separate bet against the team you have winning in your parlay. You're technically a winner either way. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Busy Monday evening, including our SGP Same Game Parlay. All right, we're going to go to the ice, Dave. This is really a no-brainer. I don't know how this one doesn't hit. Love Colorado tonight. They haven't lost 2 in a row. They're taking on the Calgary Flames. Decent little club, fighting for a playoff spot, but nowhere in the same category as the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado, the main thing to me, on top of it all, because Colorado's so much better, they're coming off a rare home loss. St. Louis beat them. Blues played great, 2-1 on Saturday. Colorado hasn't lost 2 straight at home in eons, so they're going to win the game. Minus 265. Won't lay the puck and a half or anything goofy like that. Just grab minus the 265. Like the over 3.5 goals, being held to 1 goal against St. Louis in a classic bounce back spot. They're good for 4, maybe even 3, and then 1 empty netter if they don't get the 4 naturally. So give me the minus 146. Lay the juice with the over 3.5 goals. And then we'll go to, Nathan McKinnon. If I think they're going to get 4 goals or more, chances are real good McKinnon's getting 1 point. There might not be a game this year that they had 4 goals. He didn't get at least 1 point. He's had 18 points in his last 13 games, minus 500. But, in a parlay, you could pay the price. Then we'll go with McKinnon, 3 shots on goal. Guy averages 5, so he's going to get 3. Then we'll go to Valery Nichushkin, 1 point, minus 180. This guy, I love this guy. He picks it up. He's got some issues off the ice, but he picks it up, come playoff time, and we're getting into that playoff mode. He's got 12 points in his last 13 games, 7 goals, 5 assists. He's good for a point tonight when I'm thinking Colorado's going to get at least 5. And then we'll go Nazem Kadri, 3 goals. We'll go on the other side of things for Calgary, former Colorado Avalanche. 3 shots on goal, averages close to 4. Again, a little juice, minus the 174, but because we're going with Calgary side, we get true odds boosted up. So add it all up. Not going to be a great payoff, but you know what we do on Mondays, Dave? We get the winner, then we play with house money the rest of the way. Nice little plus 413 on that parlay.
Okay. I see what you did there. I like Colorado. We always look to that same game parlay and try to find the holes in it or the things that's going to cause you agita later. So we'll see. For me, it's the Kadri one. A little worried about that one because he's got to get 4. Is it 3 plus? No, we're fine. Okay, so if he gets 3, I think we're good. Yes, 3 plus shots on goal. So, but initial look, that's the one for me. You get Colorado off a loss to St. Louis, who's really playing as good a hockey as anybody in the NHL right now. Another big win for them. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be a problem. The way it sets up right now, it looks like Winnipeg is going to get St. Louis. That's the last thing that Winnipeg wants is a team that's playing as good as St. Louis. So, yeah, we got a shot with this one. The puck's getting ready to drop.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fitting, Dave? Because if it is Winnipeg, St. Louis, you know what that means, right? That's Hellebuck versus Binnington.
Yes, it is.
4 Nations.
Right, 4 Nations, for those of you that aren't hockey nuts, yes, would be round 2. And Binnington won with Canada. All right. That's another little storyline. The NHL playoffs are setting up perfectly. We'll talk to George about that. George Kurtz is up with us next, and, he's a hockey guy too. These odds are crazy. I mean, they're changing dramatically day to day. I mean, the Panthers are 5-1. The Stars are now the second choice at 6-1. The Avalanche right behind there. The Knights are on the way up, like the Jeffersons moving on up. The Oilers on the way down, right? And look at, then you finally get a team from the East. You got one East at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there in the middle, all West, and then back to double digits in East. And I would argue, would you say Tampa belongs ahead of Carolina? I think so.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
They're a very streaky team. And Carolina really is not. I will say that they've not been good this year on the road. And it's been a season-long thing. It's not like just a little bad streak. Their road record is, I know it's well under 500. So because of that, yeah, maybe. 16-19. I like looking at these teams that can win on the road. Although Tampa Bay is only 16-20, but the perception is Carolina's better. But in reality, maybe not.
That's what I think.
I think Tampa Bay's got to have a tougher road, though. Let's put it that way. If you consider that, right, they're going to have to go through Florida and then maybe Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Good luck with that. Yeah. All right, in-game live, George Kurtz, Hockey Baseball Talk. Coming up next.
Here's a tip. Let's say you bet big on a 4-game moneyline parlay. Your first 3 bets have hit, but you're a little nervous about the last game. Consider placing a separate bet against the team you have winning in your parlay. You're technically a winner either way. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
You studied the stats. You had the perfect bracket until your upsets turned into regrets. SportsGrid rides the highs and lows of every buzzer beater, bracket buster, and Cinderella story.
The Big Ten Freshman of the Year!
Our team brings you sharp insights, real-time reactions, and all the madness. Only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all. It's
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Midway through hour number 1, we got baseball, we got hockey, we got SportsGrid Radio TV host George Kurtz joining us now to break it all down, give us a couple of winners. You see him and hear him all the time here on the grid. George, what's going on, my friend? Little hockey. Why don't we start there? We only got 4 games, so we'll get that out of the way. Then we'll do a little baseball. We'll start with the 2 games in progress. The resurging Philadelphia Flyers lead Nashville 2-1. Devils 1-0 over Minnesota. Willing to take any dogs? I don't think you want to lay 4-1 with Philadelphia or 5-1 now with New Jersey, do you?
No, we're not going to go that direction in these 2 games here. Devils. I mean, this game is actually more important for Minnesota. This guy gets a little tougher here. They could fall out of it, by the way, if you think about it. They seem to be waiting their time to get Kaprizov back, who's not quite there yet, but could be in, I guess, the near future. So their first round fodder anyway, probably solve the Devils here. But no, I don't have anything on these first 2. Sorry, I take that back. I am on the Devils, small play on the Devils to win the game on the money line here, but nothing else in these first 2 games.
The second 2, though, look pretty obvious. And Wetzel went with the same game parlay with the Avalanche, involved a couple, Nathan McKinnon props and things like that. But, I mean, it looks easy. There's the parlay. I mean, he's had to put 6 pieces together. But, George, you're not afraid of anything. You're not afraid of chalk. You're not afraid of torpedoes. You're not afraid of nothing. We'll get to that in a second. All right? Minus 250 Avalanche, minus about 160 Stars. Would you pick a dog tonight in either one of those games? Or is this just chalk?
Well, you know what I did here, right? This is parlay. All right, it's an easy parlay. We talked about this with Adam and Brady last night. We're going to take Colorado and Seattle. You got plus 120 there, so we went in that direction. I'm probably maybe a little worried about the Colorado game. Calgary is a good team. Good. Maybe it depends on how you put your definition of good. They're not a bad team.
Yeah.
Listen, they don't stink. All right, they're in a wild card spot. They don't stink here, and they can. Dustin Wolf can have a good game. All right, it's on the road. It's not a home game for Colorado, so there's some worry there. But that being said, Colorado, Seattle might easily parlay tonight. Colorado, maybe they are the team to beat out west. I think it's Dallas, but if it's not Dallas, Colorado may be next. And you notice how I didn't say anything about Winnipeg being that team because I just don't think they are.
Yeah. Let me throw a little something at Dallas with you. Dallas is remember they beat Seattle Saturday in Seattle, so it's a back-to-back both games in Seattle. Tough to beat a team. Seattle, I'll say, is a decent team. Not great, but decent. The Dallas has beaten them 6 straight now, though. I will say that. But any concern about going back-to-back against one team?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because I think Dallas still thinks they have a chance to catch Winnipeg. And I think they do have a chance to catch Winnipeg. All right. And let's face it, you want to win that division. You win that division, you avoid playing Colorado. Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas, 2 of them are going to play each other round 1. So that division needs to be won. So I think Dallas realized they still got a shot here. I think they're going to bring the pedal to the metal here. I kind of think they win this game easily. I also like Jason Robinson to score a goal. He's scoring, it seems like 2 goals every game here. Rupe Hintz has been hot as well for that team. There's lots of opportunities. I think Seattle's going to score 4 to 5 goals tonight. So there's opportunities for anytime goal scorer. You want to go more than a point net, power play points. I think there's lots of opportunities for the Dallas Stars in this contest.
All right. Enough hockey talk, at least for this segment in this moment, because we had baseball season start. And as one of the resident Yankee guys here on the network, George, I know you're very aware of what the Yankees did over the weekend. I mean, in fact, if we wait long enough on this segment, the Yankees may hit another home run right now. But I got the rule 3.02 regarding bats. The bat shall be a smooth, round stick, not more than 2.61 inches in diameter at its thickest part, and not more than 42 inches in length. The bat shall be one piece of solid wood. The torpedo fits all of that, George. What do you feel about the torpedo bats, George? I mean, don't hold back. Let it go. Just get it out, please.
Yeah, MLB came out yesterday and already said the bats were legal. So what people are complaining about is beyond me. These bats have been around for a couple of years, boys and girls. This is not year 1 of these. All right, there's been around for a couple of years that they've been using these bats off and on. I don't think most players want to use it because we all know you're a professional player. You're used to using something. You don't want to switch, right? That's your tool, so you don't want to make the switch. Will more guys give it a shot now? Sure. All right, then, hey, maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it maybe it won't. There are only 2 or 3 Yankees that use it, by the way, with Chisholm and Volpe being the top 2 guys. Aaron Judge does not use it, all right? He actually came out and said, ain't nothing wrong with the old bat. It ain't changing. All right, listen, I get it. All right, it looks weird. I wouldn't call it a torpedo. I would call it a bowling pin. That's sort of what it looks like to me, a little bowling pin here. Yeah. But either you can hit a baseball or you cannot hit a baseball. This bat will not help you hit a baseball. It may help you hit the ball further if you can hit it in a sweet spot. Right? I don't think there's any denying that. More wood there. It's denser there. But it's not going to help you hit a baseball here. I kind of find it hilarious. We have been bitching for years upon years now that we want more offense. Well, someone may have designed a way to get you more offense, and now we're complaining about that. All right? So it's like, you can't win no matter what you do. But like I said, Francisco Lindor uses this bat. Ryan Jeffers uses this bat. Yandy Diaz uses this bat. The Yankees are not the only team here. And by the way, one thing that's come out now, and this is kind of interesting, Giancarlo Stanton used that bat pretty much most of last year. And they're wondering now, is that why he's having the elbow problems? Because the bat is, swing is a little different. It makes you wonder. If it wasn't Scotty, if it was anybody but Giancarlo, I might put more stock in this. But we don't know Stanton gets hurt getting out of bed in the morning, so I don't know if I can buy that. But it is interesting that he has used it the most, and then during the offseason had these elbow problems here. It might be something to watch.
Right. I think it's just, and listen, I'm a Red Sox fan. I think it's more like, who was in Yankee camp this offseason? Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte. Gee, I wonder what those 2 guys have in common. I'll leave that up to the viewer. But I will say this. Orioles, 8 runs today. White Sox, 9 runs today. Royals, 11 runs today. Milwaukee's pitching staff, by the way, George, has given up 46 runs in 4 games. You throw in the Mets tonight already, 10 runs. Cincinnati, 12 runs.
12.
I just think everyone, the bats are ahead of the pitchers for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Our coworker Gabe's talking about that the juice balls are in play. Maybe that's it as well. They want to get things off to a hot start here, so we're all talking about offense, or maybe that's it also here. I mean, listen, a couple of stats about the Brewers for you. Every 4-seam fastball, someone actually keeps track of all these things. The Brewers averaged 88.9 miles an hour. That's not good. And Peralta pitching one, by the way. Peralta can throw decently hard here. They have a bunch of soft throwers. First thing I said over the weekend a couple of times, why do the Brewers keep throwing these soft-tossing lefties at the Yankees? That's all they were throwing, soft-tossing lefties. Maybe they really got into their heads that, Yankees can't hit left-handed pitchers, so I'll throw these guys. And the Yankees were clobbering them here. All right, but you see today, when they get beat up again, it's like, what is going on here? The pitching staff may just suck, boys and girls. It may just suck. And maybe the juice balls are in play. All right, maybe it's all of this here. One more thing about the Yankees, by the way, before everybody keeps all up on the Yankees, they also scored 36 runs in 3 games against Milwaukee last year as well. Maybe they just really like hitting the Milwaukee pitchers.
Maybe, and that's fine. That can happen. All right, West Coast baseball tonight. You're a night owl. I know you're up. You'll probably watching it. You'll probably be on with Gabe and Cam and pop it in there. Atlanta, the Dodgers. Detroit, Seattle. Cleveland at San Diego. Chicago Cubs at what used to be Oakland, but in Sacramento. Which game has your eye? I'm obviously dressed in all the Oakland A's stuff, the old stuff. It's Ricky Henderson night. I can't believe they're dogs. Who do you like?
So I'll go with the Dodgers. We'll start the game of the night here, right? Go with the Dodgers here against the Braves. Braves had a terrible start to the season here. Profile got suspended today. Lopez goes on the IL today. They got swept by San Diego. Glasnow's going tonight against Grant Holmes. I don't care if Freddie Freeman's out of the lineup. Give me the Dodgers tonight. A's, I like that. Listen, I think the A's will win the game here. It won't be a high-scoring game, though. 48 degrees tonight in Sacramento. That weather's not going to quite take effect yet. We have to wait till the summer for that.
Do want to see that, to see how those games are played out in Sacramento. George, great job as always. We'll do it again soon. George Kurtz here on the Grid. Baseball winners coming up next.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in-game live game day here on the Grid. Scott and Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern time. Just check it out, Twitter. Thanks again, George Kurtz, for joining us as he does from time to time, obviously all throughout the programming here on the Grid. So someone sent out a tweet, Dave, of Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas, whatever they are. The A's, they're holding a press conference inside a shed. It's like literally inside a shed. That's the facilities they have in Sacramento. That's pretty goofy. And then another guy sent out a tweet. Love this Twitter stuff. Follow us on Twitter at Opposite Picks, at SportsBigConsig. Coastal Carolina football, their new team I'm rooting for. They are giving out free food, free concessions at their football games this fall. How about that? Can you imagine Ohio State or Notre Dame or Michigan doing that? How cool is that? You buy a ticket. How much can tickets be for a Coastal Carolina game right out of the Sun Belt? $20, $25 maybe, and you get up to 4 things: hot dogs, nachos, drinks. Not bad.
That's the way you got to do it. You got to have people at the games. I think what we're losing, just in general, is the ability to really go enjoy sports in person. I think some sports. I mean, we see a lot of bad things happening at games and people chirping and fighting and all this other stuff. You can't go wrong giving away free food and drinks. I mean, obviously not alcoholic drinks, but free food, free concessions means people will go, if nothing else, just to eat, and then watch a game. So I'm in favor of that. As far as the thing in the shed, there's probably other teams would love to put the press in a shed or some sort of thing to do interviews. I mean, when we go to the UFC events here, we're credentialed for that. Matt and I have gone. It's a tent with a swamp cooler outside of the arena. Now, in the summer, when it's 117 outside, it's a little warm inside this tent, and the fighters come in. Dana White comes in, does the interview, and leaves. But a lot of the media stay in there unless they go inside and actually watch the fight in the press box. So I get it. There's going to be a lot of firsts for the A's this year. There's a lot of things that are going to be very, very different. Not that, listen, I went up there for the first time ever to go to a game in Oakland last summer, and I saw the Pirates play Oakland on a Wednesday afternoon. And my goodness, there were 1,800 people total in that ballpark. There was definitely under 2,000. I saw it with my own eyes. It's a shame what happened to that place. I think Sacramento's excited. Are you looking forward? You said about the totals.
Right.
It's going under tonight. All right. I mean, the A's pitchers has been great so far. Again, that's partly due to Seattle's lineup not being able to hit. The reason why this game could go over tonight in Sacramento with Oakland and the Cubs is the Cubs bullpen. Whoo! Scott, not a good performance in Arizona this weekend.
Yeah. That's the first 5. I'm not a big first 5 better, not for any particular reason, but that to me would be a first 5 bet under, right? Don't just get the bullpens out of the equation, right? Maybe even go under first half and then like a great in-game live, bet tonight. The boys Dave and Cam Cam will be on a little bit later on. You'll follow along with that game. Gabe, thank you. Poor Gabe's killing me right now. So get it to the 5th inning. Cash your under 5 ticket. Have it over under 4.5 or so, 5. And then pop on the over. So a lot of blowouts.
It's funny you said that because I did mention the Cubs have 3 blown lead losses. And that's tied with the Tigers and the Pirates for most of Major League Baseball so far. Chicago's bullpen, and we will keep an eye on the bullpens all season right here on In Game Live. We'll keep track of the bullpens and bullpens ERAs, different stuff like that. Chicago's bullpen has allowed 22 runs in 22 2/3 innings through 6 games allowed. That's a lot of runs in 6 games. The Dodger games in Japan contributed to that too, but they had 19 walks. You're a baseball guy. Walks, not good for you. Not good for the pitching staff.
Yeah. There hasn't been a whole lot of pitching. You look at the games tonight. I mean, you can't say unbettable because everything's bettable. But Cincinnati 14-0 over Texas. You want to like 12.5. You want to go over under 16.5. Joe Madden and I were doing Saturday. We were doing with the Yankees. We're beating up the Brewers. We were giving out over unders of over 22.5, over 24. It was like a football game for goodness sakes, right? And they all went over. But they all did go over. I will say that. But Mets 10-2 over the Marlins. You want to lay 8.5 with the Mets or grab 8.5 minus 180? Who would do that, right? Betting on a team and laying $1.80 when you're down 10-2. Over under 13.5. They make these big so big that they're just not, you think, okay, you're going to get more runs, right? Maybe, but who wants to lay minus 166 on an over 13.5? Right?
We'll find different betting opportunities. You're right. The vig is getting a little bit much with the baseball in game, but as much fun as like betting in game football is, and trying to get a bet in the basketball with how fast the lines change and this and that, the rhythm of baseball and in game betting is just fantastic. I loved being in a book for it. I loved working it. It was great. There's a lot of things that you can do, and the bullpen can come in and change a game. You want starters? I'll give you 4 starters that you could actually – I'll give you the stat first. They combined to allow just 4 earned runs, which only 3 of which were earned, in 23 2/3 innings this week. Okay? 4 starters. Luis Severino, Jeffrey Springs, Osvaldo Bido, and J.P. Sears. Do you even know which team they pitched for? Do you know who those 4 guys pitched for?
It's not exactly a who's who of baseball pitchers. I'm guessing some of them got to pitch for the San Diego Padres. Oh,
no,
that's your
Athletics.
Right. Severino, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So you get some cold tonight in Sacramento. That came under.
Yeah. 7.5. So interesting. How about the Braves back-to-back being shut out? Any bats, torpedo bats, send them out their way. So, all right, quick little break. When we come back, Black Cloud, the red hot Black Cloud, which is now 17-3, coming back from last week. So, cha-ching, cha-ching. That is coming up next.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. 55 past the hour, hour number 1. You know what time it is. Time for our Black Cloud Play of the Day. Yes. For you new watchers out there, this is the play in which if you put normally $1 down, make it 2. Heck, or even go crazy, make it $3 because this play just cannot miss. And we have been on fire. I must say, 17-3 our last 20 Black Cloud plays. So, and one of those, now we've been fortunate. There was a win last week that went to overtime that helped it hit over. But I know one of them we were laying 2.5 and the team won by 2. So even when we lose, we don't lose by much, if that helps any. So anyway, here is our best play. It incorporates a lot of things that we talk about here, Dave, including winners bet with streaks, losers bet against streaks. We got 2 streaks going in this game, and that's the LA Dodgers hosting the Atlanta Braves. Dodgers going for their 6th straight win. Braves coming off a 4-game sweep. They were swept in San Diego. They were outscored 7-4. And that includes back-to-back, or they scored 7 runs, rather, in 4 games. And that includes back-to-back shutouts their last 2 games. This team hasn't scored in over 18 innings. Now they're facing the LA Dodgers, who are red hot, again, winning 5 in a row. And they got Tyler Glass now, one of their best pitchers on the staff, starting tonight for LA. And Atlanta counters with who? John Smoltz? No. Try again. Smoltz and Glavine are not walking through that door, folks, as Rick Pitino once said. Instead, they're starting a reliever. So you're going to have 4 or 5 at least pitches from the Atlanta Braves bullpen going tonight against the red-hot LA Dodgers, who can't lose. Listen, it's a big number, minus 235. You want to lay a 1.5, knock yourself out. All but one of their wins have come by 2 runs or more. But for our purposes, we're up. Obviously, we're playing with house money, 17-3. Give me the Dodgers tonight, minus 235. Can't lose.
Yeah, we always caution people, be responsible, bet responsible. The Black Cloud play tonight is smoking hot. I was looking for holes in the argument. I'm constantly, as the book guy, been on the other side of everyone named Scott Wetzel and you bringing all your friends and all the people from the Opposite Picks podcast and everything else and coming in and just betting the Dodgers. And I go, all right, we'll take all these bets and then maybe we'll win one. And I went looking, and I came up with this. Atlanta's relievers have been hit in 3 of the club's 4 defeats. They've allowed 9 runs in 12 innings. The Dodgers look to start the season 6-0 for the first time since 1981, which, oh, by the way, they eventually won the World Series in 6 games over the Yankees. The Dodgers won 5 of 7 meetings with the Braves last season, and the Braves have lost 39 of their last 55 games in Dodger Stadium. Those are all thanks to my friends over at the MLB Network. I was looking for something to say, you know what? Maybe caution to the wind a little bit here. Maybe this one's going to be pretty tough. This is going to be pretty tough for the Braves to win tonight. So, there you have it. This is the Black Cloud play of the night. And, you had the Celtics circled, another institution, another team that's just winning, and it started before the show, so we couldn't use it. So you defaulted from the Celtics to the Dodgers. Wow. Really going out on a limb, Wetzel. That's good.
And I know people say, oh, anybody can pick the Dodgers, right? I mean, I get it, and we don't, to be fair, we don't really do too many like -3 to 1 favorites.
No.
We really don't with the Black Cloud. We keep it within reason for people because we don't want to hand a bet out that we know people aren't going to bet. So we make it realistic. And the 235, it's a decent little number, but we're so far ahead now at this point that when you're playing with house money, it's a lot easier to lay 235 when you're 17-3 versus laying 235 when you're 3-17. When you're 3-17, it's like, really, you're gonna. And I know handicappers, as I like to call them, Dave, that they'll give you hockey. Colorado laying 3-1, Dodgers laying 260, and you'll go 1-1, and then they'll say, oh yeah, we had an even night, we went 1-1. When in reality, you lost money because of the vig. So we don't do that too often. So we will tonight with the Dodgers. Celtics, by the way, are leading Memphis by 1, 74-73. So if you did play that. OKC, we'll do some NBA on the other side. We got Tom Vecchio, I think, coming up here as well. But, man, this OKC team, Dave, it's just they were laying 15.5 against a Bulls team that was 10-2 against the spread, and I think 10-3 straight up their last 13. OKC by 28 against Chicago.
first.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It's in-game live game day here on the grid. Hour number 2 of our fast-moving 2-hour extravaganza. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Baseball, NHL, a little NBA as well. Celtics by 5 now over the Memphis Grizz. We'll keep an eye on all that stuff, including a little baseball. We had our one resident Stanky fan defend the Yanks and their illegal bats. Let's see if the other Yankee fan here on SportsGrid is willing to do the same. Our good buddy Tom Vecchio. What's going on, Tom? How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I am fully ready to defend the Yankees, and I'm ready to hop in if you guys are.
Oh, we're ready. So much so that it says Tom Vecchio below your face right there. It was requested to put in Torpedo Tom, but
yeah, actually, that's a great name.
It got nixed. I wanted to put that in there, but let's talk about it because not everybody's using it, and they're not new bats. And I read the rule directly from the rule book. The bats meet all specifications. It's more than the bats, but I mean, what's your take on this Torpedo Tom Vecchio?
So this is what I said to Donnie yesterday on Pro Baseball Today, right here on SportsGrid, which we do from 10 a.m. to noon every Sunday morning throughout the entire baseball season. The Torpedo bats are the MLB version of the tush push. Everyone can do the same thing. Oh. It is within the confines of the rules, but one team so far appears to be better at it than others. So here's the solution. There are 2 paths forward, at least how I would want to see things. Either A, everyone can use it, come up with creative bats as long as they're within the confines of the rules as the Yankees are, or B, the real solution, pitch better. Stop being terrible on the mound and start striking out hitters. Be better pitchers, and then we won't have this conversation. The same way that they're trying to ban the tush push, which is insane, teams that are voluntarily voting to ban the tush push are admitting they are bad. They are not good enough to stop something that is within the rules. Coach better, draft better, scout better, do something to stop something that's such a simple play. This is the same thing. Be better.
What do you make, Tom, of all the run? I tend, listen, as a Red Sox fan, I like tweaking you and George, but I actually not defended the Yankees, but I said it's not the bats because Kansas City put 11 runs on the board against the Milwaukee Brewers. We got a team tonight that's got 14 runs. We got another team that's got 12 runs with the Mets. I mean, the runs are just coming fast and furious. I mean, if you're a grand salami player, you got to be playing the over on all these games, right? For the day?
I guess so, yeah. And here's the thing, and we can have an argument as baseball fans about what we want to see, but if we're here from a betting perspective, now we have to extrapolate the data and say, or extrapolate something from this, and we're like, okay, now we're talking about overs. Now we're talking about alt overs, not just over 8. We're talking about 10 plus, right. 11 plus. We're talking about a Judge not just having an RBI, 2 RBIs, 3 RBIs. Now, Judge isn't using a torpedo bat. He said that he's not going to, but the point being is now we can actually take something from this that's valuable. Regardless of what our feelings are as fans, we can actually find some betting value from behind this.
We're always searching for betting value here, and you're not just a baseball guy. You know, and watch the hockey. Tonight, it looked like 4 favorites between Flyers, Preds, and, Devils Wild, which is now tied 1-1. Avalanche and Flames, Stars and Kraken. Anything look off to you, or is this like just a chalk money line parlay, side total, anything you like tonight specifically before we get to the general hockey talk?
Yeah, so I this morning on the early line with Ben and Donnie, I spoke about McKinnon 2+ points at +114. I just like the fact that they're in a bounce back spot. A slow game for them going up against the Blues, who are apparently just unbelievable right now. I like them always McKinnon at home going up against the Flames. They're allowing 2.81 goals per 60 minutes in 5-5 situations since the beginning of March, which is in the bottom half of the league. So I'm always going to take McKinnon at plus money when we can get him because it's not often. I also like the fact that he's always juggling between him and now Draisaitl being back and Kucherov, top of the league, tied for 109 points. So I always like, McKinnon bouncing back. Like he has 2 points tonight. Kucherov will have 2 tomorrow. But the Stars game is straightforward, but it's also weird because they're playing Seattle for the second game in a row. They stayed in Seattle. So I think this is like a weird spot where the Stars are better, but it's also the Kraken have nothing else to play for. They can play spoiler here. So I'm a little wary on that.
Got the number of games tomorrow. I know you got a obscure goal scoring prop. I'm guessing it's not Alex Ovechkin for Washington against my Boston Bruins.
It's his new teammate, Ryan Leonard, one of their top prospects, first-round draft pick. I believe it was 18 overall in 2023, was just signed because BC is out of the Frozen Four. They are in Boston. So he is making his NHL debut tomorrow at the Garden, a place he's played plenty of times with throughout the Bean Pod and every other game. It's plus 550 at FanDuel. I haven't seen it listed at DraftKings, but listen, we could talk about we want to trust the data, trust the underlying analytics, as Dave knows I like to do for football, trust high target share, all these things. We can do that, but also have a little bit of fun. We can take a smaller unit, quarter unit size, where it might be on a player that's making his NHL debut, which is awesome, at plus 550 in an arena he's played at before in Boston. So let's have some fun with Ryan Leonard.
Does Ovi get the record this year? And if he does he get it in the second to last game against the Islanders, which is available to bet on some books? Right. You can pick the game that he gets it. The odds are pretty good for that one. They're even better for the last game of the year against the Penguins. So 2-part question. Does he get it? And if so, who does he get it against?
I think he gets it. We're coming up pretty close to, because he did miss did go without a few games goal recently. So we're coming pretty close to it. I would say he does get it. I want to see him get it because it's we lose the momentum. He gets in the 6th game next year. It kind of take the air out of the balloon, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I think the most interesting market would be, will a player record an assist on the goal? And John Carlson is plus 400. And I think that's the most interesting, just because he's going to be on that first power play unit. You would like to think that would be a power play. I think you can also bet it on, will it be, method. Power play is plus 162. So I think he gets it. And instead of betting on a team, you can bet on in other ways where you still get a plus money. And I think power play and/or John Carlson is fun. And I think it will come against the Penguins, unfortunately.
You can bet empty netter too at plus 350, and then they give you the team. Then a separate bet on FanDuel anyway. They give you the goaltender, which I don't know why you would do that, just in case the team that they're playing isn't starting that goalie. Or then they say like empty netter at plus 350.
Yeah, that's tough because at a certain point, if it's the Islanders' late season and they're eliminated at that point, it might not be Sorokin. Right. So. That's too much. Like it's too much of a crazy bet. Like we could take a shot on plus 400 because we know Carlson is on the first power play.
Vinny will have the Stanley Cup odds ready for this question.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, it's changing daily. And, not because of injuries, just because of the way teams play, the way teams, win a couple in a row, they move up the board. Like the Jeffersons moving on up, other ones fall off the board to page 2. East has Florida up top, and then West.
Yeah.
When you look at this, who is your second choice in the East? I'm trying to figure out the puzzle, how it's going to work out. It's really tough.
It is. We can get back to this on the other side of the break, but I do have a future on Tampa. I do have a future on Winnipeg, and we can break all that down next.
All right, we'll do that because the odds are certainly there. It's like throwing a dart in the Western Conference. It really is. Eastern Conference, not so much. I think there's maybe 2 teams, maybe 3, but boy, even at St. Louis to the mix. We'll get Tom Cook on the Blues and more. In-game live game day on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
And welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Dave, hour number 2, talking some hockey with our good buddy Tom Vecchio, who you see here all the time right here, SportsGrid radio TV host. So Tom, I threw it out going to break, with the Western Conference. It's so jumbled up, and now maybe you had the St. Louis Blues. I don't know how you feel about them, but they've won 9 in a row, coming off beating Colorado in Colorado, and the Avs have been playing great. I mean, do you take them seriously enough to get to the actual Stanley Cup Finals? Because, man, they are playing some great hockey right now. But either way, you got 3-4 teams, right? Maybe 5 in the Western Conference that can get to the finals.
Yeah, so here's what it comes down to. It's not Florida. A team simply making a third straight Stanley Cup would be unbelievable, as I've discussed with Carver on NHL Today. It's not Florida. It's not Edmonton. They're frauds. It's not Carolina. I like the Blues to win a round. I think that's fair. I think there'll be some value in them winning a round, and they could probably upset a team. If they could grab a wild card, they could upset a team 4-2 in the first round and take them -1.5 on the alt series spread, because they'll be the underdogs as wild cards. It's Colorado, it's Vegas, it's Tampa, and it's Dallas. Those are the teams. Now, I do have a future on the Jets, as I said, and Tampa. I think the Jets are a good team. It's the kind of thing like they haven't proven it. And Vegas is a team that always worries me, just because it comes to playoffs and it's just like, oh, they're ready to roll just because they have great coaching and the experience. So I think it comes from the West ultimately, and it's not going to be Edmonton. It's going to be Dallas, Colorado, or Vegas.
All right, last one for me, sir. You didn't mention the Kings. The Kings have lost, I think, 3 games at home all season, and they're playing their best hockey basically since the All-Star break. You're kind of, you mentioned Edmonton. If it matches up Edmonton and LA, Edmonton will have home ice, I think. Edmonton will be favored. Kings can beat Edmonton, no?
Yeah, Edmonton has their number. I think the Oilers are frauds. That's been my take for a while. The Kings have their number. The Kings, for me, would be Brant Clark, Jordan Spence, Quinton Byfield, some of these young players stepping up. Because I think the Kings are the prototypical team of what I like to say is like they have a lot of like really good players, but they don't have anyone who's like truly great. Like Kopitar, Kuzmenko, Kempe are awesome. Trevor Moore, Kevin Fiala, like they have really good depth players. And like I think they're a team that's greater than the sum of their parts kind of thing, where they have no superstar, but they have like really solid players. But if those solid players don't elevate themselves in the playoffs, that's the missing link for them.
Tom, great job as always. Always appreciate a little hockey talk here at In Game Live, and good luck with your bets today. And we'll do it again soon. And good luck to Ryan Leonard tomorrow. More important.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Little hockey talk there
Torpedo Tom Vecchio. We need a sound stinger or something every time Torpedo Tom comes in. Bring him in with a big like graphic torpedo, something like that. I don't know. I think it's worth a shout, but. It's good to see. He called the Oilers frauds.
I know.
Oilers frauds.
Got to the finals. That's not bad. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs can be frauds, but at least Edmonton got there, right?
Hey, the Maple Leafs are playing pretty good on the West Coast. The Maple Leafs are finishing this play ahead. Why?
Yeah, the one game I had them against San Jose, they lose in a shootout. I don't bet them any other game. I got them the one bad game they had.
Caught them on a bad night. Yeah, they beat the Kings. They beat the Ducks. And then they go to North and they lose that game. I was actually betting that game in game. I had the Leafs. They were down 1-0, but I had the Sharks back. I was betting that thing back and forth multiple times, and I realized, you know what, the Sharks are going to win this. So yeah, it's funny you said that. I didn't.
Little suggestion for the hockey world, right? They need to create a blue line in overtime. Because what happened, I love the 3-on-3. I really do. I like that more than I do the shootout, to tell you the truth. I'd rather have 5 more minutes of 3-on-3. But you can't have the guy so many times, because possession in 3-on-3 is everything. It's just, you don't want to give up the puck, right? So here you go. You can't take the puck once you cross the blue line. That's it. Can't go out of the blue line. If you do, it's a turnover. Blow the whistle. That's it. Yeah, that will end more games. Because what these dopey teams do is they get the puck, they go into blue, and they're like, I don't like what I see. And then they skate the puck all the way freaking back to the road.
Possession!
Where you going?
Possession?
Where you going? The puck is the other way, boys.
What is that saying? Possession is 3/4 of the law or something, or 90% to
something goofy
2/3.
like
Possession is everything in the NHL overtime. You want to hold the puck, and make sure that when you finally let it go, you're giving yourself a good opportunity to score. You don't just fire the puck recklessly in NHL overtime, because with 3-on-3 and you miss, it results in an odd man rush the other way. You want to change one of the beautiful things going on in sports, at least the 4 major sports right now, is an NHL overtime. You want to change the NHL overtime, Wetzel? Why do you have to mess with things that are working?
Because I'm seeing teams go the wrong way. Like, it's almost like they value the possession more than the actual goal of winning the game. And they're skating in. They got the puck inside the blue line all set. And then they decide, okay, we're going to make a line change. So, all right, let me hop back out and let me skate all the way back down to my end, make the line change, and then have this crazy rush. And then they do it all over again. Here's another thing. No substituting in overtime.
You're on a roll now.
Pick your three.
No,
That's
what?
it, boys. No substituting in overtime. You got 3 guys. Pick your 3. Boom. Play it till you drop. That'll stop
NHL shifts. What are you? NHL shifts are 30 seconds to a minute. You can't play 5 minutes of 3-on-3, all that skating after you've played 60 minutes.
Why not?
Of regular hockey?
You're not running. You're skating. If you skate a little slower, too bad. Here you go. You lose. Team that's in the best shape, they win. Once you get in the blue line, no getting out.
This is a terrible idea.
You want to make it 4 minutes. I'll go down to 4. Pick your 3 best guys. Think about that. McDavid, Dingeling.
I want to make it 10. I want to make it 10 minutes.
Well, you can't.
I don't want any more shootouts. NHL overtime, 10 minutes.
Let's go Flyers, up 2-1. Give you all the scores when we come back.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
welcome back. In-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Day, 24 past the hour. Checking a little hockey, little baseball. A little baseball tonight so far not good with so many blowouts. It's hard to bet those games. Little NBA, we'll take a peek at that. But back to the hockey board real quickly because we did get a goal, Dave. Looking pretty good with our SGP. 1-0 Colorado against Calgary. So not bad. McKinnon gets the goal. Or no, actually get the assist. McCarr gets the goal. So we got McKinnon with the shot on goal and a point already in our SGP.
Yeah, we love the sounds here on the show and the graphics and things like that. So when a kid gets there, we'll bring in the goal horn because every goal that the Avalanche score tonight will be brought in the goal horn the rest of the way.
Yes.
So that's good. 1 on the board. We need, what was that team total? 3.5, right? Okay, yeah. That's good. Okay. So we need more. We need more. Not done yet. Just getting started. Okay, that's good.
Can the Flyers, I know this is kind of crazy, but they're winning 2-1, minute and a half left over Nashville. This would be their third straight win. Don't want to put the black cloud on them, but just for argument's sake here, they don't even offer it. But could the Flyers actually get back into the playoff picture? Maybe not win or but just get into the picture where you're putting a little scare. They got 69 points. Problem is they played 75 games. They only have 7 games left, including tonight. That's what's really – so the lowest team is the Rangers at 77, them in Montreal. So they're 8 back. They'll be 6 back after tonight with only 6 games left. That'd be tough. It would be. But they should have fired Tortorella like jump a week or so earlier.
Too many teams to jump to realistically get back in it. But, I mean, you know, it's like the movie Major League. I mean, there's only one thing left to do. Just, win the whole thing. So they could win every game, right, and put them in a spot at least to have a chance. But realistically, no. Season's over in Philadelphia. Like, Flyer fans, enjoy this little ride. It's not happening.
If they played like 72 games and had 2 or 3 more games, maybe. But you're right. It's hard making progress. Like St. Louis, a good example. They've won 9 in a row, 18 points. I mean, you think they would be absolutely like battling for second place or whatever. They're still battling for their playoff lives. There's just so many teams that all play so well that get that 1 point, even if they lose, that it's hard to make them ground. But I wonder if they're kind of kicking themselves like, geez, we could have fired the guy 2 weeks ago.
Right? Either that or they leave those games, early in the season. They're just as important as the late season games. And when you're trying to figure it out, like, there's baseball teams right now that are winless and just keep losing. And like the Pirates are trailing right now. I just got to turn that one on. The World Series has decided it's not, you don't win the World Series in April, but you put yourself in a position to win it with a good April. So 500 or better helps. 500 or better for the Flyers. I mean, although they were playing good in October, November, it was in that middle part of the season, January, February. Things got a little bit loose and we got away from them. It happens fast in the NHL, but the turnaround happens just as fast. They don't have enough games to make up the ground.
Speaking of the Dodgers, we started a little thing. We're just going to keep track of it. Bet on the Dodgers. We'll just say $100 just, for recording purposes. It's nice and easy. Yeah. Bet on or bet against the Dodgers this season. Every single game. There's a nice little 50-50. Which way you're going to make the most money, right? Or any money for that matter. Right now, obviously 5-0. If you're a $100 player, you've won $500. If you're against the Dodgers, you're 500 in the hole. You were kind of like 50-50. I don't know if you necessarily really liked one side. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think you were leaning towards betting on the Dodgers. You correct me if I'm wrong, but if not, what do you think of their 5-0 start? I mean, you ready to say they're going to win 116 games, set the record?
It's one of those situations where I told you the story when we discussed this about my friend Brooklyn Joe, who I worked with in the book, and he decided to bet against the Phillies that year, and the Phillies ended up winning 103 games. It was painful. I don't need the pain in my life. I don't need the aggravation. I think I'd rather bet on the Dodgers and this start has been pretty good. They were down in every game against the Tigers.
Yeah.
Don't even matter. Just come back, home run. We love LA, and they start playing the song at the end. They just win. Mookie was sick. He even hit home runs.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, more baseball. Get some baseball winners. We come back and NBA as well.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. This is a true testament. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for another half hour. We got Cam Stewart coming up in about 10 minutes, and Cam and Gabe top of the hour. So this really is, Dave, a testament to when things are going well, do they continue to go well for our Black Cloud? Or is it it's only a matter of time? Because I must say, the things we've given out today so far, looking pretty good. Our top trends, we gave out Celtics as a good trend. They're leading by 15, 6 minutes left. Gave out OKC as a great trend. They're leading by 39 with 6 minutes left in the third.
In game right now on that game is 38.5, if you're curious. So there's a nice debut of the 5 on the line. Yes, the Thunder was one of the plays. So that's pretty good. I was going to say, you call that a cigar game in the book, but you don't even need a cigar for that one. There's nothing to, even relax. It's done. On to the next one.
They are amazing. This OKC team really is just like, the Bulls were playing, I know it's the Chicago Bulls, but they were 10-3 their last 13 games straight up, winning on the road, covering, great against the spread, because they're winning these games. A lot of them as underdogs. They did lose to Dallas at home the other day, which I thought was very weird, but okay. And now they're getting smoked. As 15.5-point dogs, who can lay 15.5, right? And you keep on saying that about OKC. And I mean you, Dave, but I keep on saying that. Well, I don't want to lay 15.5. I don't want to lay 12.5. They're on the road. I can't lay a 9.5 on the road. And then at the end of the day, every single game, they're winning and covering. I don't know
I
what it's
know.
going to take for people to really, really think, and I'll throw myself into this equation, that really, really thinks they're going to win it. I mean, the other odds-on favorite, right? The boys in Vegas got them as the odds-on favorite, plus 175. But I could ask 10 NBA fans, who do you think's going to win? And I bet one, maybe two will say OKC.
Yeah, I think, we've been looking for a reason, not just here on the show, but a lot of people in the books have been looking for a reason to bet against them because
Right.
they've been so good. And this can't be real. It's kind of what's going on in the basketball. Like with Dookie Pukies, everybody's looking to bet against Duke. They're in the Final Four. Give me a reason to bet against Houston. They're in the Final Four. Oh, it can't be Auburn and Florida. Both SEC teams can't both get it. The number one seeds, sometimes they win. And it's okay. So I don't know. OKC is the best team, at least in the West, and there'll be a discussion about the East, whether it's Boston or Cleveland, and whether that's going to be the matchup. Now, as a fan, are you enjoying the March Madness? Because there's a lot of people that are upset that it's been chalky. What are you upset about? The committee did their job. All the games were either 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3, and all the ones won. What's the complaint?
Yeah, and they complained when there are too many upsets, and now they're complaining when there are no upsets. Pick one.
Yeah.
Which one do you want, right? I mean, people just love to complain. We have a graphic there. Bet underscore labs did this. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you bet on the favorites so far in this tournament, 50-13 straight up. That's one
Ugly.
short of the record back in 2007. Only 13 underdogs. If you bet $100 on every single underdog money line, right? And we always talk about that at the beginning of the tournament, you'd be down almost $3,000. It's been
good.
chalky. So I enjoy it.
Not good for the chalk or for the dog bettors.
Yeah.
Good for the chalk bettors. A lot of people are happy their bracket's still alive. A lot of people have 3 of the Final Four, 4 of the Final Four. That's all well and good. I got to give you here 20 seconds of breaking news that you're going to be very happy about. It's not a goal. It's not anything. Left-hander Garrett Crochet and the Boston Red Sox are in agreement on a 6-year, $170 million deal. They're giving him 6 years, $170 million deal, contract extension. The deal starts in 2026, includes an opt-out after 2030. By far the largest deal ever for a pitcher with 4+ years of service. Thank you, Jeff Passan. Just saw the tweet. So that's out. You locked up your guy. He's not even been your guy for more than a week.
A week? Yeah, a week.
Yeah, that's it. That's your guy. That's your ace. You happy about that, Red Sox fan?
Ever since they let Mookie go, they've kind of like recently anyway, they've tried to make amends by spending just on the Bregman deal was ridiculous. They overpaid for a mediocre, let's say average. I won't say mediocre, but just a above average baseball player. They gave him $35 million a year. A pitcher who's never pitched a big game in his life. He's pitching for the lousy Chicago White Sox last year. And all of a sudden, he's going to be the greatest thing. Devils beat Minnesota 3-2 in overtime. All of a sudden, he's going to be the greatest thing in the world. And you're going to give him almost $30 million. Didn't they learn from David Price? I mean,
whoa. You're saying he's David Price?
No, but that contract was so ridiculous. That's why they had to give up Mookie. Because, all right, Dodgers, if you want Mookie for a bag of bones, you're going to have to take David Price's final 2 years. And that's what the Dodgers said. Okay, we'll take him. It's worth it.
Oh, boy.
Garrett Crochet. He stinks. A lefty at Fenway Park.
He started. What do you know? Come on. Hey, relax. That's not true. It could be. No. You sound like a curmudgeon Red Sox fan. I mean, you got World Series and stuff. You could be a Pirate fan like me who, they lost 6-1 to the Rays, and the stat over the weekend was that the only second time in history has a team had their first 3 games of the season as walk-offs. The last time it happened was 1924, also by the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2 times in history. That's it. Thanks for coming. I mean, you're gonna cry by getting it. I need to see an extension deal like that for Paul Skeens. You went and
I would
signed
do
your
that
guy.
with him. I would do that. I would, do what the Braves did, right? When they had all those young players. Lock them up. Here's 10 years.
Lock them up.
You got 4 years with us no matter what. We'll give you extra money for those 4 years. In return, you give us maybe 4 more years after that of $30 million. Spread it out over 8 years versus spreading it out over 4, which you don't want to do as a Pirate.
Right.
That's what I would do too.
The Mets would do it. The Mets would do it. The Mets just sign everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine Skeens on the open market. If baseball allowed these players, it would get like 4 or 5 years. Oh my goodness. You don't want that.
Talking about it now. He's still a Pirate. I don't want to talk about
that.
No. Please.
He is. For how long?
Giants are up 5-0 in Houston, by the way. The Giants are playing.
I see that. Angels 3-3. We finally got a baseball game we could bet on.
Right.
I like that Cardinals team. I think they're going to be better this year. Angels stink, but I'm not going to lay 2-1. They got a runner on first base. It's amazing. You got a runner on first base, and they're going to make them 2-1 favorites, bottom of the 7th. Crazy.
Blue Jays are about to break open. Blue Jays are about to break open the game against the Nats. They're up 5-2 in the 8th, but the minus 3.5, minus 125. We need a base hit, fly ball, sack bunt, something. Move the runners. We're going to get a run.
Yeah.
Blue Jays aren't done scoring.
Seattle, Detroit just underway. Keep betting the unders on the Seattle, right? But in lineup is no better this year than last. Can't score.
My goodness. At all. I mean, they can't string together 3 base hits. Nothing.
Yeah.
And they're not getting long flies yet. So, yeah, a lot of unders with Seattle.
It's too bad. They got a good pitching staff. It's amazing.
Great.
And Stewart got a fistful of winners coming up next here on the grid.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Dave for another 15, 20 minutes or so. Taking over top of the hour. Gabe Morency and our next guest, Mr. Cam Stewart, who's got no doubt a fistful of winners. Big NBA game tonight, Cam. We'll start there. LA Lakers, LeBron hosting the red hot, and I mean red hot. What are they, 12-1 last 13 Houston Rockets? Any interest in that game tonight?
Yeah, I'm a Rockets guy, Scott. I've always liked the Houston Rockets, and now we're getting 3.5. You talked about it. They're a red hot team. I know the Lakers are at home laying 3.5, $1.80 on the money line, but why not take a shot with Houston? Plus 160 money line, plus 3.5. I lean to the Rockets there. Hockey, it's a tough game coming up late. I don't know if I'm crazy enough. The last time these guys played, Dallas beat Seattle 5-1. It's a back-to-back. I don't like doesn't that line, what do you guys see with that line? Do you see trouble? I see a lot of trouble. It's a trap. It's a trap if I've ever seen one. I don't want to fall in front of what do they say, catch a falling knife, that Steve Merrill Morency we talk about on the show, but I got a weird feeling the Kraken show up in this game tonight. I'm not going to bet them, but if Dallas scores first in this game and I can get these guys at a good number, maybe even a 2.5, I'm going to bite. Baseball, Scott, you know me, the dumpster doesn't matter what sport it is. We'll go from any type of sport. The dumpster is the dumpster. And tonight we got one for you. It's not total dumpster, but they're already winning. I like the Cleveland Indians live right now. Sorry, Guardians, minus 125 against the Padres. The only reason I'm going against undefeated Padres team is this guy pitching, K. Hart. And he's not Kevin Hart. He wish he was. I watched this guy's his minor league numbers are terrible. Scott, by the way you're ripping Boston's pitching, that wasn't really fair. The guy's a young kid with a lot of stuff there. It takes baseball, Dave will tell you. It's very, very, you're being too hard. Sometimes it takes a while for guys to come in the mold here. You can't just think the guy's going to be Cy Young right out of the gate. Anyway, this Hart guy is definitely not Cy Young. Cleveland, please. That will be my baseball special tonight, and it's only minus 130, and they have a lead. I like the Guardians a lot tonight.
I got to ask you to just recap the weekend quickly, not just the college baskets, because we got all number one seeds, and you're a dog guy and you like to bet dogs. So,
I got Duke to win the whole thing, though, Dave. I took that very early. The thing about dogs is it's okay because Texas Tech can cover a 7-point spread and still lose.
Yes,
that's the beautiful thing. Like, you don't have to take them on the money lines and stuff. You just take excessive points. A lot of you're right, though. I've never seen anything like this before. Like, it's just kind of it's very odd. It is really odd and crazy, but you think that'd be good for gambling?
Did you have this Min Woo Lee?
But I'm not going to take credit for it. That's all Carver and Keith Stewart and other guys. I wrote them because of them. I had them for a little piece, not right off the top, and I should have done more. Watching that guy close on Sunday, though, it's like almost going through a coronary, Dave. Like, this guy had a 5-shot lead, and he won by 1 shot. That's what I tell you about golf. Like, these golf guys who had real money on them, like guys to win 3 dimes, like their finger is over the button. It's kind of like, what do we do here? Do we hedge? And think about it. A lot of people did, because you're watching this guy, water, trees, whatever, and then he has to get up and down for a 1-shot win. That's what I tell you about this sport. It'll drive you freaking nuts. Like, you go absolutely bananas on Sundays. I'm like, wow, I feel for all these guys. Like, I'm cheering for Carver and K-Stu and all the guys at the network. My guy, I had Pendrith. He finished 5th. I had a couple other guys that won matchups, but I did okay, Scott. But the bottom line is I need more winners, but it's really hard in golf, and that's what I'm telling people. Like, it's a sport. You can get rich if you hit the winner, but the roller coaster ride to get there is you have to be like, I've been doing it for a long time, and actually with the way I am, I'm probably the worst type of person to bet on golf because I get emotional. And the thing is, you almost have to be like flatliner. Don't care, don't matter. Hit a guy when he's live. Like I'm sitting there watching the Jays game on Saturday. I go, hey, my buddy Rich, I got Thompson's water seal. The guy's 10 under through 11 holes. Bogey. Oh, the minute I start getting excited, bogey. I'm like, here we go. Like, you know what I mean, Dave? I'm like, yeah. My girlfriend's like, what a pick with Thompson. I go, and here we go. I go, have you called Sunday yet? This guy's a ghost. There he is.
I was
Saturday.
I was out on Sunday watching. I went to meet a guy about a thing down at Circa, and we were hanging out
about a thing.
Two guys that had this guy Lee.
Yeah.
One had been betting golf. One is new to betting golf, and the guy new to it was literally, I mean,
Losing
every
his
shot
mind?
yeah, he wasn't going to make it. $50 at 30-1, he's picking up 1,500. I mean, that's
I
a
know.
nice hit, right?
It is.
So, yeah, he was losing his mind, and I just turned to the other guy I was with, and I said, "This golf sweat is different." I mean, you can have a dog in the basketball, or you can have a favorite like Florida in their game, and you watch them losing early, and then they come back and win, or they're trying to hold on like Houston did against
You know
Purdue
what
on
it is,
Friday
Dave?
night.
Golf is like a
sweat is tough.
relationship. The first 30 years are great, and all of a sudden you wake up, I want a divorce.
The back
That's
nine.
exactly what golf betting is. We're cruising for a while. Life's good.
Yeah.
We produce children, kids who actually went to school and got degrees. You wake up one day, this isn't really working for me. I think it's time. What? I'm leaving? Oh, yeah. I met Roberto. You know what I mean? This guy at the office, and he's a real stud. Oh, okay. That sounds like everything goes
in reverse.
Yes.
My life is in reverse. The first 30 are bad, and then the last 5 or 6 at that point are probably going to be.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, you're riding it out. I don't know what else to compare it to. That was just a bad joke, but that's what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, hey, everything's great. And then you wake up on Sunday and you go, where'd my guy go? He literally, Dave, like some guy's 7 under, your guy goes +3. I'm like, what happened to my lead? Like, what? Why? Where am I?
4 rounds is the true test of you don't screw around and win a golf tournament. You got to be real. Go through 4 rounds.
And sleeping on the
There's
lead too, Scott, it doesn't matter how good you are. Like, you start to think, and like Minwoo Lee was in orbit. This guy's won tournaments before in Europe, whatever. Like, he's a good golfer and stuff. But for all you people out there, if you're trying to bet a new sport, and golf might not be it. If you like roller coasters, it's your sport. If you don't, if you want to stay on the teacups, don't bet golf. Just trust me, from a guy that knows.
Real quick, Dodgers, you're going to lay -210. Dodgers.
No, I will not.
No.
Run line, or parlay. No, I don't do that, Scott. Later.
Sam and Gabe, top of the hour. Thanks, Jim.
First time on a casino floor and feeling a little overwhelmed? Well, here's a tip. Lots of machines have a free demo mode you can try for practice. So give those slots a spin in practice mode before you start putting down some real cash. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Thanks again, Cam Stewart takes over along with the game top of the hour. They'll take you over the next two on SportsGrid Radio, SportsGrid TV. So we're looking for some winners here. I will say in baseball, we did get a couple of runs. Detroit 2-0 lead over Seattle. So maybe Seattle team total is the way to go in Seattle games versus, although their pitching is pretty good. But you get a halfway decent number now, 10.5. It is the top of the first inning. Detroit's got a couple of runners on, but I think 2 outs there. Oh, it's 3-0. No wonder. Okay, that makes a little more sense. But I'd still go under 10.5. It takes 2 to get to 11. Tigers aren't putting 11 on the board, so I like the under there, Dave. And I'll tell you the other one real quickly. You said it. Toronto's ready to explode against who are they playing? Washington. 5-2, 8th inning, over under 8.5. Toronto had the bases loaded, nobody out. You need 2 stinking runs against the god-awful Nationals to hit your over. I don't know what they did, but they didn't score. After having the bases loaded, game ends 5-2. They win, but if you're sitting on an over, that's a tough beat.
Yes, it is. Final 5-2.
Yeah.
And that number, it's so funny because the number has to move. Assuming something's going to happen, but most times nothing happens. So if you were going under, you were getting a really nice price. So congratulations to those that did. The Nats are off to a bad start. We mentioned the Pirates off to a bad start. The Marlins lost tonight to the Mets, but Tigers up 4-0. Giants up. We're going to get a shutout tonight? Another shutout? I don't think so. Think there's going to be another shutout?
This has been a weird year so far. Let me just see how this guy did. They grant him to like a triple play or something?
They had to have.
Something goofy.
We'll talk about it, all throughout the week. I've enjoyed the basketball, but I always enjoy the basketball. Win or lose with upsets or not. I mean, yes, it's more fun for a lot of people if they get the upsets, but we got 4 really good basketball teams. And when you look at the odds to win it all, I've been talking about Houston for a while. I thought they would win the Big 12. I thought they would be a problem for everybody. They are the 3rd choice to win the college basketball championship behind Duke and Florida, almost the same price as Auburn. I think that Auburn price might be a little short as far as that future bet based on what the point spreads would be. But Are you in with the Dookie Pukies against Houston? Are you comfortable with the line for the game on Saturday? Are you going, you know what? Maybe we'll take Houston. What's your first thought on Monday? And we'll be together all week. Knock on wood. Let's hope.
Talk
about it, but what do you think?
Yeah, I found my salvation. It's been very hard. I told you, I put a couple shekels on Duke at 9-1 at the beginning of the year to win, right? And lo and behold, looking pretty good. So I've had to root for the Dookie Pukies all season. It's really made me sick to my stomach. It really has. But I found my salvation. In an office pool that I run, I put one entry in, Dave, where I just put all the favorites in. I just did chalk the whole way, right? The whole just give me the highest. And so, as it turns out, well, we know what's happened, right? If Auburn, which was the number 1 seed, so I had them winning it all. If Auburn beats Duke, I win the pool. So I have to root for Duke one more game, and then I go against it because I'll win more in my office pool, believe it or not, than I will with the bet I made, even at 9-1. So
as the guy that runs the office pool.
Yeah.
You're going to be that guy. People are not going to answer your emails next year. They're not going to take your calls. They're not going to, you're going to get texts unreturned. Hey, you want to get in a contest again? The guy runs the contest, wins the contest.
Yeah.
I don't know, Wetzel. I don't know. That doesn't end well usually. You better get an upset. I'm rooting against you. We can't have that. Who's your champ there? Auburn.
I need Auburn, but I need them to beat Duke. If they beat Houston, someone else who has Auburn would win.
Okay. All right.
So it's got it because I got to root for the Dookie Pukies one more game. So I think they win. But I'm looking for these should be 2 great games. I mean, they really should be 2. I love the tournament. so far.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's been good. I think it's been good.
All right, good so far. It looks like we're going to go 5-0 with our trends. We're doing halfway decent with our SGP. And we got the Black Cloud. Let's go Dodgers. Make it 6 in a row. Cam and Gabe coming up next right here on the grid.